Well, today I would like to talk about miracles and what constitutes an actual miracle. We've all heard the miracles that Christians have experienced and whatnot, and all these incredible things. The problem is a lot of these are second hand. Like people are saying, "I heard about this incredible event," and we don't know what actually happened. But people buy these miracles as actually happening. I'm not even talking about biblical ones. I'm talking about, the miracle, the famous one, the Catholics with the sun danced for a while, and thousands of people saw this. Now, when you actually look into it, there's a lot of issues with this so-called miracle, or even personal ones. On the Christian forums, there's a really good um, thread. I'll try posting a link to it, where this woman talks about how she had met this Chinese woman that had Alzheimer's and nobody knew how to talk with her because nobody spoke Chinese. And she had, this girl decided to speak to her using, the spirit language. And the woman responded, and the woman's nodding and crying. And this girl's got this idea that this woman had, asked Jesus into her heart. But she doesn't know what actually happened. She doesn't know anything that actually happened other than she was speaking in what she thought was her spirit language, and this woman seemed to react. We don't know what went through the woman's mind or anything. Yet this person has completely chalked this up as this incredible miracle. Or another miracle later on. This is kind of one of the worst examples of a miracle ever. But she knew a friend that she got a new job, and this woman, she tried to get her to become a Christian. She talked to her and pestered her, and the woman finally just ignored her. Afterwards, she was helping her learn to become a bank and didn't speak to her. A week later, turns out she died. She died in a car crash. Or in some sort of accident, I forget exactly. I think it was a horse actually. But she dies. And she's calling this a miracle because God knew she was going to die and she was trying to get her to save this woman before she dies. Like, wait, what? This is, you call a miracle? And yes, it's a bit extreme, but we've heard all these examples. People talking about, I needed a job, and God gave it to me. I needed $5 for a taxi out of a bad part of town, and I found $20 on the ground. Or all these kind of so-called things. A lot of these are extremely selfish. Person five found $5 so to get out of a bad part of town, where people in Africa could use that $5 to live for a month, and so on. It's all these weird little things, and I've noticed with a lot more fundamentalists, even moderate Christians, is they seem to quickly latch on to these miracles as actually happening. Yet we don't know the circumstances. We don't even know if they're true. A lot of these are second or third hand. Like, I'd actually thought about compiling, getting people that were in churches, compiling the stories that they heard from different people and comparing them. Because a lot of this stuff gets passed on. Somebody had what they felt was a miracle, and then other people hear this story and start using it as if it's them. It's part of, create a story, even if it's from somebody else, and use it as your own, to help motivate people. But people, get convinced that these things actually happen when a lot of these so-called miracles are 2 or 3 times removed from the original events. And it kind of, it goes back to what I've said before. People are predisposed to believing these things, so they believe what they're told, whether it's miracles, conspiracy theories, and all these kind of things. People are quick to accept something because they're predisposed to it without thinking critically, actually looking into, okay, did something actually happen here? Is there an actual event here, or a miracle? And I'd like to hear you guys' thoughts. Comment down below and let me know. Do you guys agree? Do you disagree with this? Let me hear your thoughts. I'd like to hear.